What's going on, everyone? And in this video, we're breaking down the top mistakes people make during the Saskatchewan Job Approval Letter process. And trust me, you don't want to be one of them. Whether you're an employer looking to hire foreign talent or a skilled worker hoping to make Saskatchewan your new home, these tips could save you a ton of time, money and headaches. We're covering everything from nailing the job offer form to understanding knock codes, meeting those wage requirements, and proving that you're the real deal. Let's jump right in. First up, let's talk about the job offer form. You know, that all-important document that officially kicks off this whole process. Seems simple enough, right? Well, you'd be surprised how many people mess this up. The biggest mistake? Submitting an incomplete form. I'm talking about missing details like job titles, salary information, or even a clear outline of the job duties. This is like forgetting to put your name on an exam. It's crucial information that the government needs to process your application. So slow down, grab a coffee, and carefully review every single section of that form. Don't cut corners here, it'll save you a lot of hassle down the road. Let's talk about knock codes, those numbers that hold the key to your immigration dreams. A knock code is like a social security number for your job title. It tells the government what you do and if your skills are in demand. Choosing the wrong knock code is like using the wrong address on your GPS. Using the incorrect one can lead to your application being rejected. Explore the Government of Canada website's knock code search tool. If unsure, reach out to an immigration consultant or lawyer. Getting this right is crucial for a successful application. Let's talk about the prevailing wage requirement. It's the average salary for a specific job in a region. Your offered salary must meet or exceed this wage in Saskatchewan. Lowballing your employee, your application might be flagged. Research and ensure your offer aligns with the prevailing wage. Use Job Bank Canada and Saskatchewan Government Labour Relations websites. Offering a competitive salary strengthens your application. Listen up, employers. This mistake is big. Neglecting to show proof of recruitment efforts. Before hiring a foreign worker, the Saskatchewan government wants proof of genuine efforts to find a qualified Canadian. You can't just hire internationally without looking locally first. Show the government you've exhausted options within Canada. Keep detailed records of your recruitment activities. Let's talk about building trust. Because at the end of the day, that's what this whole process is about. The government needs to be confident that your business is legitimate, operational, and capable of fulfilling the promises you're making to potential employees. Make sure your business registration documents, financial statements, and tax records are all up to date and readily available. If you've recently made any significant changes to your business structure or operations, be prepared to provide documentation for those as well. The more organized and thorough you are in presenting this information, the smoother your application process will be. Think of it as building a strong case for your business. The more evidence you have to support your legitimacy, the more confident the government will be in approving your application. Let's talk about job descriptions, because believe it or not, they can make or break your application. The job duties you outline in your offer letter need to be crystal clear, detailed, and most importantly, aligned with the chosen knock code. The government will scrutinize whether the duties you've listed actually align with the job you're offering. Any discrepancies can raise serious concerns about the legitimacy of the position and whether you're trying to bend the rules. Use clear, concise language, be specific about the tasks involved, and make sure everything aligns perfectly with the knock code you've selected. If you're unsure about how to accurately describe certain duties, refer back to the knock code descriptions or consult with an immigration professional. Here's a mistake that's surprisingly common: submitting an outdated version of the job approval form. The Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, SINP, regularly updates its forms to reflect changes in policies, procedures and requirements. Submitting an old version is like trying to pay for groceries with expired coupons. It's simply not going to fly. To avoid this easily avoidable mistake, always And I repeat, always download the latest version of the form from the official SINP website. Before you hit that submit button, double-check that you're using the most up-to-date version. It only takes a minute, and it can save you a lot of headaches and potential delays down the road. Let's talk about honesty. Because when it comes to immigration applications, honesty is not just the best policy, it's the only policy. Misrepresenting employment terms, even slightly, can have serious consequences. This includes things like inflating salaries, exaggerating job duties, or misrepresenting the duration of the employment contract. The government has sophisticated ways of verifying the information you provide, and if they catch even a whiff of dishonesty, your application could be rejected, and you could even face bans or penalties. Be transparent about the job requirements, the salary you're offering, and the terms of the employment contract. It's always better to be upfront and transparent than to try to pull the wool over the government's eyes. All right, employers, this one's for you. Just like each province has its own unique charm, each province also has its own set of rules and regulations, especially when it comes to hiring foreign workers. Before you even think about submitting a job approval letter application, make sure you're familiar with the specific requirements for businesses operating in the province. This includes things like licensing requirements, labour laws, and any specific regulations related to your industry. Make it a habit to regularly review the Saskatchewan government website for any updates or changes to these requirements. Staying informed and compliant not only strengthens your application, but also ensures that you're operating your business ethically and responsibly. Timing is everything, especially when it comes to immigration applications. Dragging your feet and submitting your job approval letter application at the last minute is like trying to hail a taxi during rush hour. You're likely to be left waiting in the rain. The Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program often experiences peak periods where processing times can increase. Plan and prepare your application well in advance of your intended hiring date. Submitting your application early demonstrates to the government that you're organised, proactive and serious about hiring a foreign worker. Let's talk about attention to detail, because when it comes to immigration paperwork, even the smallest error can have major consequences. A single typo, a missing signature, or an inconsistent date can raise doubts about the validity of your application. Before you submit anything, scrutinize every single document with a fine-tooth comb. Check for spelling errors, verify dates, ensure signatures are in place, and make sure all the information aligns perfectly with what you've stated in your application form. If possible, have a fresh pair of eyes, review everything as well. Don't let careless mistakes undermine all the hard work you've put into your application. Communication is key. You've heard it a million times, right? Well, it's especially true during the Saskatchewan Job Approval Letter process. When employers and employees aren't on the same page, it's like trying to play a duet with someone who's reading from a different sheet of music. The result is going to be a chaotic mess. Make sure you establish clear lines of communication from the get-go. Discuss the application process, timelines, and required documents in detail. By communicating effectively, you can avoid misunderstandings, prevent errors, and ensure a smoother, less stressful experience for everyone involved. You've submitted your application, dotted your I's, crossed your T's, and now you're patiently, or maybe impatiently, waiting for a decision. But here's the thing. The communication shouldn't end there. Not following up on your application status is like sending a message in a bottle and hoping for the best. You might get a response, but then again, you might not. Don't be afraid to proactively reach out to the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, SINP, to inquire about the status of your application. Following up shows that you're engaged in the process, eager to move forward and proactive in seeking updates. So, there you have it, folks. The top mistakes to avoid in the Saskatchewan Job Approval Letter process. Remember, this process can seem daunting, But by understanding the common pitfalls and following these tips, you can significantly increase your chances of a smooth and successful outcome. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to my channel for more informative content on immigration, personal finance, and building a successful life in Canada. Until next time, best of luck with your application. Best of luck.